All right, we're live.
Boom.
Match 7. What's going on, people? If you are watching live, say hello in the chat. We give you a shout out. It's a good time. Today is the big match. For
Huge match.
The big one.
Two really great teams. And both have shown so much creativity in their projects in the past. But yeah, this is for third place.
People are winning prizes today, dude.
Yeah. And sadly, one of these teams has to go off to their day with nothing. And I don't like that part, but it's a competition. That's what it is. Yeah.
Did we talk about the fact that Grace Ling is in the house today?
Yes.
Howdy from Bali.
You are enjoying the digital nomad life to the fullest, making everyone super jealous. I love it. It's so good. And is your first time in Bali?
Yeah, it is. This is like in our creator villa, actually.
Ooh,
it's like,
okay.
It's like nighttime right now, but there's like a nice pool. Well, I can't really show it because it is dark outside.
Oh my.
But yes.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I'm outside. We have mosquito coils burning.
Well, I mean, this is perfect. You are today's match sponsor, Design Buddies. Maybe you can share a little bit about Design Buddies for those who haven't heard.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I've known Josh since like 2020 or something. We met on LinkedIn, and I know Jesse since I've been watching his content on YouTube when I learned design. So really excited to be here. Design Buddies is something that I personally started when I was a student learning design. I had no idea what I was doing in life, so I made this Discord server called Design Buddies back in 2020. And right now, 4 years later, we have like 150,000 members and 2 million followers on social media, and we're now focused on both community and education. So we have events in person and real life, educational programs and content and more, and a huge Discord server. So feel free to hop on in. And I also love creating content and drawing. So I'm actually drawing a merch brand for our community as well. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, and hope to see y'all hopping into Design Buddies.
That is so awesome. Can you do a little illustration while we're doing the stream and then show at the end or something?
I would have to grab my iPad, but maybe I can like get it really quick.
That would be so
Sure.
I'm joking, by the way, but yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Don't tempt her, because Grace does the most things of any human being I've ever met.
Yeah.
And she will gladly take that. Not even as a challenge, but just as a complete norm.
Thank you.
I love it. I love what you represent. I love what you're doing in life, and you are really such an inspiration to those in the design community. You go after it. You came to Vancouver I think last month, and we had a good chat, and I just love your approach to life, which is just like, just go for it, do it. Like, I love how you say this, don't think, just do it, and I think eventually you figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then you keep going. So
Thank you.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm hoping to make more like networking and design communities like more fun instead of like corporate and boring. So hopefully I'm doing my job.
Yeah, and you just spoke at like one of the most prestigious universities in Singapore, like what, last week? NTU.
Yeah, I did.
All about Skibbity Riz networking or something.
And yeah, I called it Skibbity Networking Law because in Singapore they speak a lot. So yeah, I talked about how to Mew, how to be Sigma, how to be GigaChat on LinkedIn, how to have Riz. But really, I talked about like more serious things. I just use it because it's funny.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I'm
awesome.
old. I don't understand the words you were saying, but I think they're all good.
Yeah, they're all positive things.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that our competitors today have that level of fun and abandon and joy and excitement. I think something I've noticed, because the match is starting in like 20 seconds, is like a lot of them get caught up on the like, I don't know, their nerves or whatever it is, but the ones that are entering into it going, I'm gonna have a blast, seems to be those are the ones that are really excelling in the challenge. Skills obviously, but kind of like gung-ho, let's go get it attitude is a help as well.
100%.
Hope y'all sweaty with no cap and big facts.
with that, let's start the show. Here we go. Hey, all right, everyone. Welcome to the arena where teams design hard and play even harder. I'm your host, Josh Lowe, and I'm joined with my amazing co-host, Jesse Showalter, Nelson Abalos Jr. What's up? And we have the amazing Grace Sling, the mastermind behind Design Buddies, the world's largest design community. She isn't just building a community, she's shaping the future of design mentorship and networking for tens of thousands of members. She's also a product designer who's worked with some pretty big names like Electronic Arts, and when she's not designing or leading with a community, she's traveling around the world, speaking, inspiring, and helping designers level up with skibbity riz, no cap, all facts. Okay, I cut that out. Let's give a big warm welcome to Grace Ling.
I appreciate it. Positive aura.
Positive aura. Okay, guys, this is match 7. We have gone through so many matches today. This is for third place. The teams are competing for $1,000 and $50 of Figma merch. So Jesse, Nelson, Grace, how you guys doing today?
Doing great. Excited to be back. Excited because I've seen both of these teams now, and it's amazing to see them come all the way through here to this third place like finals kind of match situation. I'm really like, they're nervous. I'm nervous. I'm just pumped.
Yeah, it's great.
Same.
Nelson?
I mean, like, I've known Double Trouble for a long time, but the presentation skills, the storytelling with Team Robusta is just like so like chef's kiss, you know? And so I want to see what these two teams cook up with today's theme, which is a great one. I'm not going to spoil it, Josh. I'm so excited. Like, let's go.
This is a fun one. This is a really fun one. Guys, if you are interested in participating in the matches yourself, go check out Figma, search the arena, and you can download the files for free for yourself. Try it with your friends, with your coworkers. It's a fun time. Okay, so I want to take this time to honor the teams competing for this. Like, of all the matches in the tournament, this is actually my favorite because these are the teams who've experienced victory in their first match, and then they also experienced defeat in their second match. And it takes a lot to pick up yourself after being humbled with a loss and say, you know what, like, I'm still here, I'm showing up, and I'm giving it my best. So that's what I like to call a third place mindset, like that humble, that hustle attitude, always working hard to be better. And for me, it's actually one of the tenets of the digital third. So with that, I want to take this time to bring on the teams. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Team Double Trouble and Robusta. All right. Whew. This is the third match. Okay, so question for Robusta. Once again, you somehow had time to make a YouTube video recapping the previous match and shared a bit of your feelings going to this match against Joseph Berry, Melissa Mendez. You mentioned, Alan, that, you know, both you guys, that they are your idols. So how do you feel right now, like not only meeting them for the first time, but competing against them?
Surreal. Very surreal.
That's it. No words. Okay, Dang, do you have anything to say?
I will save everything for our presentation.
Oh, all right. Man, the guy, he's just ready to go. Dang. Okay. All right. Joseph, Melissa, Alan and Dang look up to you guys as their Webflow idol. So the question is, do you be nice to your most loyal followers from Vietnam and go easy on them? Or do you just show no mercy and uphold the reputation you have to your name and just absolutely crush them in the arena?
I think we're gonna do our thing, you know.
we know what we expect. I definitely don't feel as stressed as I was last time. I think being away and being in a different environment and trying to manage that on holiday, I don't think put me in the best space. I feel pretty cool. Yeah, like the guys, they're great fun, great energy. I'm excited to go against them. Like whatever happens, you know, will be like good on them, and let's see how it all goes.
Okay,
I
nice.
liked how that was a toss up to start some smack talk, but this community is so nice.
Yeah, man.
And so caring for each other. So you're not gonna get that out of them, Josh.
Yeah. Okay. I tried.
Yeah, no, I think that's so important what Nelson is saying, because obviously there's always going to be competition, but the main thing here is to improve, and this competition has proven to do that for so many people, like people that are actually here having the guts to like do this in 30 minutes and in front of so many people takes a lot. So kudos to all the competitors.
Yeah. Jesse, Nelson, are you guys monitoring the chat? Do you want to welcome some of the people in the chat here? I see Maria.
I love the everyone's like, and I love it because I'm there too. I'm like, man, it's the community. We're all like building each other up, you know, sharpening each other. But then all of a sudden we had a couple of hashtag no mercies or
that's
crush
Maria
in the chat. I was like, okay, thank you, Maria. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate. So some people love the competitive nature of it, and some people are, and even those that love the competitive nature, they're pumped too, just to be part of the supportive community. But I thought that was great.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we see people here from Minnesota, Mike, I think, Jason from Costa Rica. So as usual, we have an international audience here. So thank you for tuning in. Okay, are you ready to jump into the arena? Let's do it. Welcome to the arena, the ultimate test of speed, skill, and strategy. Each match features 2 teams entering the arena for an intense 2 versus 2 design battle. Each team has a designer working in Figma and a developer in Webflow. Teams are presented with a match theme consisting of a subject, style, and scope. Players are provided with a mood board and carefully curated design assets to aid them in their design. It's a race against the clock as teams have 30 minutes to design and build a section of a website. Once the time is up, each team will present their designs for our judges and a YouTube live audience to vote for the winner. Victory is granted to the team that earns the majority of 3 votes. That's 2 votes from our expert judges and 1 from you, the live audience. Who will rise as design legends? You hold the power to decide. Welcome to the arena. All right, everyone, here we are in the arena. Today's theme is called Pixel Cube, and the subject is a Web3 video game. Ooh. Someone has a little bit of a construction in the back, so if you're able to mute that, please do that. But anyways, let's keep going to the mood board here. So the style is a futuristic dark theme, right? So this is really interesting. Dark theme it's really interesting. It's really challenging to do because you have to balance the colors and the elements in the on the web page, right? Like everything stands out because of the black background. So, but as you can see, there's some Web3 related vibes here and art direction. We have spline assets here. So as you can see, some really cool assets to play with. So that'll be really interesting to see how that gets incorporated by the teams. Moving over to the images, we have some really cool video game characters here in the top, futuristic vibes, maybe some 3D characters, and they're traveling. So the whole premise of this is they're traveling around different levels and different planets, trying to reconcile the 2D world with the pixel world with the 3D world. So you got some environmental spaces. Shout out to Evan Place. He helped out with curating this along with Jonathan Nathan. Next, we're gonna go down to illustrations here. We got some really fun, playful illustrations. And finally, some miscellaneous items here for, like, again, more of that video game vibe. So moving over to the scope. we are doing a footer. It's a CTA and a footer section. So this is going to be interesting. And I just want to give a shout out to Footer Design here. If you go to footer.design, you can see a lot of good inspiration here on different footers. They're kind of taking a comeback on how you can stretch and just turn something that's boring into something that's really fun. So with that, that concludes the theme for the match. I'm gonna bring this over to the team. Team Double Trouble, how you feeling with this theme?
Yeah, like you said, super fun. There's lots of cool little things in there to be used, and yeah, we're excited to jump into this.
Fantastic. All right, Alan, Dan.
I love Alan.
Yeah.
I love Alan's face. He's like,
Yep, Dan, anything to say?
Scheming already.
So I feel like there are
Okay.
a lot that can be done here. So I'm very excited
I don't
to
think we can hear
explore the
Dan.
direction, and hopefully we can come up with something nice.
Yeah, now, obviously you guys learned a lot from your last match. You tried to pull all the stops, and maybe doing too much was, just to check all the boxes may not be the best. So I'm curious to see your strategy here. Maybe you've refined it, or maybe you're just like, screw it, we're just gonna do it again and, and just go crazy. So, okay, guys, do you have any other questions before we kick it off? Okay. All right. Guys, are you ready to design?
And build.
Here we go. We're going to start in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go! All
And we're
right.
off.
Right, here we go.
So, Grace, is this the first time you're seeing the theme and the assets?
Yes, this is the first time.
What do you think about the theme and the assets as we get into this match?
I love the variety of stuff and the dark theme, the challenges that come with designing that. I love the rabbit, the cat right there is very cute and kawaii. And then I like games because I used to work in a games company, so it is overall positive aura for me, is what I think.
Awesome. Jesse, what do you think about today's theme?
I'm pretty pumped. I think it could go in a lot of different ways. You know, when you think of like a kind of a dark theme Web3 game, there's a lot of ways it can go. I think what's really interesting for me is, are they going to apply it mainly to that kind of like CTA section, or are they going to take that cue or that hint and go hard in the paint and make the footer actually really, really interesting? Because that's a hard task. It's really, really difficult to do. So I'm excited to see it. I really want it to like punch. Like I want something to jump off the page and make me feel like I'm part of like a video game, like character creation screen or something that's really interesting.
Ooh. Can that be done in 30 minutes?
Ooh. Yeah.
And
So I see that Melissa left the chair. I don't know if that's a strategic move. Maybe she had to go to the washroom or something, but that's going to be interesting. But notice how both Joseph and Melissa are in the designer or in Figma. So that's an interesting start to the match here.
Oh, she probably walked to his desk and then like,
Yeah.
okay, okay, I see. I thought
Nelson, sorry, you were saying something earlier?
no, I was gonna say the same thing. It was like, is Melissa's chair actually doing the competition for her?
Yeah.
She
she's
made an
back.
automation or an AI to do it.
That's hard, you know, in a competition like this where like seconds are precious.
Yeah.
Like she was out of chair for like 45 seconds. Like I wonder if that's gonna come back and bite her later.
Maybe that's just the confidence that they have in this match. Like, you know what? It's okay. We're gonna give them an extra minute or so.
I noticed
Okay.
that.
We already
Go
have
ahead.
some blinking animation from the cat, like that Joseph's working on in
Yeah.
in Webflow, which is really, really cool.
Now,
I mean, he had that dark background, that cat on there within the first 25 seconds. So this is where it's really interesting to me also, like going off of what you said, Josh, both of these teams have won. Both of these teams have had a loss. So there's something that they have also like, they've course corrected and learned,
Yeah.
hopefully from that loss. And they're going to try to replicate the win. What did we do right? What did we do wrong?
Mhm.
How do we put that together right now in this new fresh competition?
Yeah, and the thing is with Double Trouble on match, what was that? Match 5 with Team Define, they just lost by a single point. So that's like yeah, it's humbling, you know. They're like this close to winning, but again, I think once you take that L, you're kind of forced to reassess what you did wrong, and just improve from there. So sometimes these things are a good way, you know, it's the best lesson, right?
Yeah, 100%. See, there's the color, like going even into like the words, like as Melissa is like drawing out like gradients inside, like it feels like Joseph is already like 2 steps ahead. He's going gradient, got it. I'm popping it in and code like this fast. Which is kind of interesting. Like sometimes things are faster to do. Like he had the gradient in and duplicated the text layers. He had it in there before she's even done fully like picking out the gradient.
Yeah,
100%.
they are locked in. Team Double Trouble's locked in, but like looking at Robusta, the huge type. Did they usually use huge type in their previous matches?
No, not really. This is kind of a play towards Joseph and Melissa's style, actually.
Yeah.
So they're kind of using their style against them. So that's going to be interesting.
Is that for Joseph right now? Like, did he drop like a spline object inside, and that's how it's already like kind of animating inside? Yeah, is that what's going on? That's amazing.
That's right. But I didn't know, Nelson. I didn't know that spline could be previewed natively.
Oh yeah.
Without hitting play in Webflow.
Oh yeah, it's used just like interactions.
Okay.
And so you can target any object within Spline and then manipulate them as you would any other element inside.
For those eyes just to be blinking on their own on loop, that means that like the object inside of Spline already had that animation working, right? Because he had, or is that part of the interactions he had going right here inside of Webflow?
He's adding those blinks right now.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah. So he's doing like
Is
the CSS transform with Webflow interactions. So as you can see right there, he's doing scale, and I think. Oh wait, they're blinking on their own.
No, I think that's something different.
You can do the loop timed animation in Spline for something like the blink, and you can still tap into any element, like whether it's swivel the head or whatever. You can tap into those elements inside of Webflow through the interactions panel. So, but it seems like something as simple as like the character blinking on and off. Like, we had that going with the Spline object.
Yeah,
keep it there. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that? I think it's a scroll animation.
It is. Yeah, he was working on all of the transforms and scrolls. Well, look at Alan's got some stuff cooking over on the Webflow side of things as well.
Yeah, he's got those funny memes going on there. So. Gotta inject that humor that he has. Hey, Grace, I shared the Figma link in the internal chat in case you want to click in there and peruse around. Otherwise, you can just stick around and just watch the show here. But yeah, what are your thoughts here? Obviously, you've hosted a bunch of competitions or these like design challenges and stuff. What are your thoughts on the theme? How fast the team's going? Curious to hear.
Yeah,
hear that.
I'm really impressed by how fast y'all are building it in Webflow and animating and all that as well. And I love the scrolling for the right team, and all the colors and how it just like blinks at you. It's like staring into your soul. And I love how like eye-catching Join the Adventure today is. Like you really want to hop in. It's all both very like immersive.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw the internal chat. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I see you here, Jesse, just looking at Dang's design. So this little curvy thing here.
I was just gonna say, it's very like, you know, you pull that little file tab, futuristic style. It feels very like, I don't know, retro Star Wars kind of like space shape kind of thing happening there. And he's adding the background blur to it. So at first I was kind of afraid it was just gonna be a big image as is, but they've really like monochromatic, like with the image, like dropping the elements in, working the futuristic tab thing. So it is starting to really come together.
Yeah. So this curve thing is a spline element. Again, I just want to share a bit of some of these spline things. We got the TVA portal here. I love this on the bottom left. But the one they're using, I think it looks like it's the one on the bottom right. However, it looks a little different. So that's the thing. These assets, the teams aren't limited to using that. They can use whatever else they want. So maybe they got inspired and they use something else. But if you check out the Spline community page, there's just so many amazing assets that you can just download and play with. So
I love
yeah,
the Spline community and the amount of
Right?
assets that are there, because there's so many things that I just don't have the skill set to make in 3D,
Yeah.
and other people are like willing to offer those up to blow minds on your project. It's phenomenal.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering what character what character Team Robusta is gonna bring in, because right now it's very type heavy, and they're playing on the design style of what I usually see at Double Trouble. And I see Double Trouble is doing something a little bit different, where they're playing on using the character more than type. So yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
also kind of interesting too. It's what's really fun about this style that Double Trouble's doing right now, which is carrying a character down through like animation as it like rotates and moves with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that you could do even more so than what they're currently doing, as it like follows and zips around the page into content areas. I've seen that done a lot with like 3D spline elements,
Mhm.
but it is a different approach where they're kind of having this happy, fun moment with the character, letting that
Look at that.
tell a little bit of story as well.
Yeah, and so this is a feature that was released at Webflow Comps last year with the Spline integration. So you're able to use, well, maybe Nelson, you can share a bit more on this, but you can use Webflow's native animation tools to manipulate the Spline elements.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So just like with any, when you're using Webflow interactions, you're manipulating so many things you can manipulate with just basic HTML, CSS elements. When you bring in Spline, not only can you manipulate basic or DOM elements, but you can manipulate objects within a Spline file, or whatever you call it, animations.
Right.
So yeah, and it's 3D. So as you can see, what Joseph Berry did was you can flip the thing around. You can, it's a 3D space. You can do so much with it. So
Right.
it's very interesting that you get all these tools with Webflow interactions, and they just added Rive.
Yes.
And I don't know. I think you can connect Rive with Webflow interactions.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
It's probably the same thing, but different platforms. But man, it's a lot.
Now,
I mean,
Jesse,
before it required like a level of like custom like code and
Yeah.
like working around to make all of that happen. And once they dialed into those integrations, like now you can bring things in, and I'm like a director of a scene in 3D. Like I want you, the character, to spin around, but while you're spinning, I'd like the arm to move and the eyes to play. It's like everything can really storyboard, and that's lending to, I think, a lot of the success of both these teams. They have a storyboard mentality, as they're not just creating pages that scroll down. They're thinking of how A moves into B and into scene C. So it complements the thought process and the creative process, I think, a lot.
Grace, we're almost done with the first half.
wow.
Which team is catching your eye more right now?
The red team, because I love the character and how it's like blinking at you to draw you in. It's like a little NPC welcoming you in. But I also love where Join the Adventure today, like where that's going. It's like a virtual world versus like a character welcoming you in. So I like both so far.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
I don't
Well-
see the video game aspect though in either. So I'm wondering how that's gonna come into play in the second half.
Just less than 3 minutes remaining in the first half. And
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious.
like game
I'm
is such a loose, like when you look at some of the samples in the mood board, right? Like
Yeah.
it could be, for instance, like a Web3 game, or it could be a website that is kind of like the marketing page for a game.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be the game itself or character driven. It could be world building driven, experience driven. I'm really interested, if we go over to Robusta, both of them, as they're not only designing but developing in Webflow, they're using the blending techniques so that they get that object to slap in different ways, you know, like they use the color across it. Really, really interesting, I think, design choice.
Yeah. This is going to be looking like a really good footer right now.
Yeah.
Really neat.
Yeah, we have to remember it's a footer.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we're gonna see at the bottom of a pixel cube Web3 game.
That was the challenge. I was deciding, like, oh shoot, do we just limit it to a footer? It would be so good to see this as like a hero section, you know. But you know, with really good restraints, sometimes you see the most creative solutions. So let's see what they do.
True.
I think these Robusta started out really, really fast, right? They were moving really quickly. They seem to have slowed down a little bit, and they're like kind of hyper focusing on a couple of those, the what, why, and hope kind of squares at the top of their layout there. It seemed to like really slow down the progress. So I hope they're not getting too, you know, analysis paralysis on that one little area, because there's a broader experience. But also at the same time, it looks like Double Trouble's maybe kind of like honing in on, what are they building, like a table there, or like
yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yep,
hey,
gotta
chat.
have all those links.
Make sure you ask questions for the team. We'll try to ask them in the halftime. So if you have any questions for Team Double Trouble or Robusta, make sure you add a giant Q in front of your question in the chat, and we'll try to bring it up.
Halftime, which is happening in 25 seconds, which is crazy fast.
Okay, so I like the world building that Alan's doing now. Okay, I'm feeling that like immersiveness.
piece.
Like I feel like, are we gonna zoom in as we scroll down?
I want to.
Oh.
I want to go into whatever that portal is. Like
Yes.
that.
All right. Okay, guys. Welcome back. This is the halftime break. Again, that went by so quick, and by this time, all the designs are so advanced in the first half. We are so proud of you. Everyone's really happy. Jesse, Nelson, Grace, do you have any questions for the teams?
I'm wondering what you're doing right now. Let's start, and it's for both teams. But let's start with Double Trouble. What things did you learn from your loss that you're evolving, iterating, and applying? Is it a workflow thing, a process? What are you learning, and what did you learn?
I can't hear anybody. I can't hear anyone.
Can't hear us?
Yes. Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah. How about now?
Okay.
Double Trouble, did you hear my question?
Yeah. I don't think drastically a lot's changed. I still feel like what we actually did and achieved in that last round was quite considerable. I think what we definitely tried this time was just to not try so much, and again, just try and be planned in a slightly different way to help us feel a bit more comfortable with the timings that we've got going on. Yeah, I would say that's it really.
Yeah, I think from the last one, well, I guess our strategy from the beginning has always
Melinda
been
is muted.
it's been that Joe kind of like already understands what I'm gonna do, so he can grab that and go straight into Webflow, so we can just keep going over there, since it's a little bit trickier to build than just to design.
Gotcha. Robusta, what about you guys?
Well, we learned a lot from the last match. Basically, just scale down, focus on the detail, and yeah, that's all. Don't go too much. Don't go overboard.
Nice. A little bit more reserved now. That's wisdom right there.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't catch it.
Was there anything that you learned from your loss?
I can still.
We can win a
I
lot
cannot
from our
still
wins.
hear
Win
Jesse.
something or learn something from your loss that you're applying right now in your process.
Well, I think, Dang, try to refresh your screen, and you might need to reset the audio there. While we're doing that, oh wait, Jesse, you're good. It's just Dang that
all
can hear
good.
you.
Somebody else can ask a question.
Yeah, any
Actually,
other questions?
I didn't hear Melinda as well. Listen,
A lot of buttons to press. Josh is doing his best to keep it going. But like, I'll throw it to Grace. Do you have any questions for the challengers?
Yeah, what do y'all think makes a good gaming site or a good website for a game?
That's a good question. I would say, personally, how you visually show off the game in a digital context. Obviously, you're going to have different tools to use to be able to really bring that game to life. I think games are normally going to be featured on characters, scenes, different environments, and bringing them characters at the forefront, I think is going to be really important, while also getting into some of the nitty-gritties of the game, how the game works. I think games obviously super fun because you're going to have a lot of really cool assets and elements to work with, and I think there's always going to be a good storyline behind that. So that really enables you to push creativity to extremes. But of course, we want to make this functional first. So trying to think about how we can balance them two pillars is also really important. How we can bring a lot of flavor and a lot of fun, but how we can actually make sure that it's informative and engaging so that the user gets, a good idea of what's going on and not too blown away by everything else that's going on.
I think that the most important thing, obviously visuals is what makes the game, but in my opinion, and this is something that I always struggle with games, is the UX of the game, like how easy it is to use it, like what are the controls. I want that straight in the first round of like what I see. So maybe what would be cool is like in the website, maybe introduce those controls right away, and that's how you navigate it, just so you kind of like warm up into the actual game. So yeah, that could be something that would be interesting.
Okay, perfect answer. Are you ready to jump back in the second half?
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. This is it, last half, and no more matches after this. I just want to say Shiny10 in the chat says, just want to say that this match has been super fun to watch. Can't wait to see the finished products. Okay, so with that, we're going to kick it off in the second half in 3, 2, 1.
And like that, they're back to the grind.
The last 15 minutes, and then they can just breathe a sigh of relief and be done with this, because this is a hard challenge.
Tough challenge. Yeah. I will say, like, what they said seemed very, very true. Like, I'm observing it. They've kind of narrowed their focus. They're trying to do less, but go deeper on the things that they are executing. And you're seeing it both because they have gotten so far in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
What is this last half like doing? What kind of like pizzazz are they gonna like try to bring? And it's really interesting.
I think that's such a temptation for designers to do, is like, given all these assets or opportunities, or they're receiving a brief, like how far do they want to push the envelope and things like that. But I think what really creates a good design is adhering to the brief and honing down on the specific requirements and just doing it with excellence and doing it really well. And so I think that's like kind of what separates, like, I guess, a more seasoned designer with to like more maybe a non-experienced designer.
Beautifully politically correct way to say junior designer, Josh. No, it's self-control. Self-control. Because we all want to do all of it and do so many cool things. And we all feel that pull.
Yeah. Well, okay, this is a segue. This is to a question I want to ask Jesse and Grace. So, like, what's one piece of advice you would give to aspiring designers to break into the industry today, right? Because they obviously want to stand out. They want to like do big things to be noticed. But you've worked with a lot of aspiring designers. What's an advice that you can give?
I want to hear Grace. I want to hear Grace's take on it.
Ooh, there's so much advice I want to spew here, but I'm trying to pick one that is the most relevant. I would say, like, everyone learns differently. You don't need to follow what everyone says. Just try a bunch of things, fail fast, learn fast, and failure is a good thing because you learn from it. And don't be afraid to try new things, and don't feel the need to follow exactly what someone else does.
Good answer.
So in the comments below in the live chat, comment what's one new thing you're gonna do to grow today as a designer.
Good.
Ooh, good. Good.
Yeah, I
prompt.
would say something kind of similar, for people who are like getting in, which is you have to make a mess. And this is like starting anything. You have to be okay with not knowing everything. You have to be okay with making a mess, and you have to kind of get over yourself and any sort of self-conscious nature. Make a big mess, make ugly things, figure things out, make stuff that breaks. You won't make things that work or look good or make sense until you make a bunch of mess first. And so I think that there's a lot of people that a lot of designers have a perfectionist kind of mentality, but done is better than perfect. And the more that you do, the more done gets close to perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah. But perfection is still not a real thing.
Right.
And that whole thing of like, you always want to be you never want to be the smartest one in the room, because if you are, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Oh my! You guys looking at what
What
Dang's
is
doing?
happening on Dang's
Wait,
screen
what
right now?
come
All right.
on.
The pandering continues. I think this. They always have something up their sleeves in the second half. They cooking. They be cooking.
Look at how happy Dang looks doing that versus how stressed Alan still looks as he's trying to finish this. It's a fantastic dichotomy.
It's funny. It's kind of the opposite, because normally the developer is a little bit more serious and, trying to make the designer's vision come to the reality. But it's kind of like, it's just the opposite way. Maybe Dang's just so focused on having fun that he's got no expression on his face.
Is going in. Look at him.
Oh, this is so good. Guys, look. We're being immortalized in this
They're
little
winning
poster design.
fun points in my heart. I don't know if it's gonna win them the match, but it's a good time.
Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
there he is.
Not that I don't
that's
like
so
looking at
funny.
my dumb avatar, but look back over at Double Trouble side of things. Like their entire story from top to bottom is really coming together. Here's a question I have for you guys. Does it feel like they've yet again designed a big hero section that slides down into the content? Is this too far off the brief?
This is the thing about like new footer designs. And again, you can check it out in footer.design here. Sometimes I'm seeing designs where what looks like a hero section can actually kind of be used as a footer, right? Because it's like the reverse. So I think it's fair game.
I like it.
I personally just want to see the team just go crazy and use their wild imaginations to see how far they can make this footer look like a non-footer, if that makes sense.
Well, we do want them to go crazy, but at the same time, they're competing, and they both said at the beginning, like, we've learned our lesson, we're going too crazy, so we're going to tone it down a bit. So it's always that balance. I mean, balance for all of us designers and developers. We want to give our clients the best that we can do, but like we know that when it comes to design, less is more. So you want to take away as much as you can.
Yeah.
So,
although less is more, but right now Joseph is adding more animations to the little cat character. He is tilting and propping the head. I think it's gonna maybe like fall. Maybe it's gonna do a mouse follow, or maybe it's just gonna have a looping animation of it looking around, perhaps.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting because I'm so looking forward to the presentation, because Alan actually, I looked into his background. He has a huge interest in video game design, and with that, it's all about like world building, and it looks like he's kind of doing that now with Dang creating the characters, and then you look over at Melissa. Like, I'm just gonna zoom in her design here. This is just so beautiful.
so
I
it's
love
clean.
like these little details in the corners here, and then the lines. I love this gradient. We forgot to mention, like, we've been talking about footers, but also the top half is a call to action, a CTA. So I think that's just for for allowing for scrollability. So they're probably emphasizing a lot of that scroll action or animation into that section. but I'm loving it. Question to you guys and also the chat, like what's an essential element that a footer should include? Like we see here your typical links and subscribe. Is that it basically?
It's so interesting because I think what you were pointing out, and I'm just like, I'm also old, so like Grace is like Gen Z languages like hit me from this side of things. It really is like a footer doesn't have to be so traditional, although there is some sort of expectation of it being a place where you can find lots of navigation, right? So like I still feel like no matter how creative you get, my assumption is going to be I can go to the footer to find what I need if I can't find it elsewhere.
True. It is that place to make the navigation more simplified, especially if a lot of the information is hidden in like drop down menus or like a desktop full screen hamburger menu. Like keeping things simple at the bottom is what you need, but there's still that opportunity to make your brand stand out. And whoa, I just saw some like scan lines or something happening with Alan's screen.
There was some custom code that just got dropped in really quick.
I wonder if he's using Unicorn Studio again. That was crazy.
Best friends forever. Come on.
I think it's the old school like airbrush typography, like the monster truck 80s metal typography inside of that with the gradient across it, the hard gradient that I love so much.
Let's bring back clip art.
Please.
Let's bring back word art. There it is.
Word art.
Those were the times.
See, actually, what's happening on Joseph's screen right now is a big plus to me, anyways, because he's bringing the cat back into that subscribe box, that gradiated subscribe box. So although you move through and the character is telling the story, it reappears again to help.
Yeah. Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
At the bottom. So for me, I'm like, storytelling is, as he kind of said, is visual throughout. It feels like a good execution of that principle.
Yeah. Grace, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on storytelling for you and your brand and the Fluffle Bunny and all that stuff. This is kind of like similar, You think a lot about like all of that in your branding?
Yeah, think about how do I make it fun? How do I incorporate the journey? Like, for example, on the gaming site, how do I bring the user into the story, and how do I onboard them? So I think about how to involve the reader. Sorry, it's like almost 1 a.m., so my brain is a little bit fried right now. I'm talking in loops. But I think about how to make it like basically, when I think of story, I think of like a transformation journey the character goes on, and having like like rising action, conflict, and resolution, and some character development. And I try to incorporate that into Fluffle and the stories I write too.
Nice. Yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate you staying up super late, all the way in Bali. I guess after this, you can just fall asleep and then wake up with a beautiful massage. Guys, in the chat, if you've been to Bali, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't, you guys gotta like make a trip over there. It's so good. Cheapest massages, and the fruit is like so fresh. Oh my goodness, I miss it so much. It's great.
Looks like Alan's maybe getting some errors on his code.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's yelling. No.
Oh boy.
What team had the same issue? Was it Flow Ninja, right?
We have 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes.
Reboot. Turn it off and off again.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I wonder. Let's take a look at his screen. What is he trying to do here? Oh,
don't
error.
see what the error
What is
says.
he's using? Like a plugin
Lots of them.
or an app? I mean.
I don't know. Is he using Chrome or is he using Arc? Is he using...
Over to Joseph. I mean, look, he's just doing what he does best, which is, now it seems like he's cleaning up the class namings now.
Perfecting right now. He's like,
But like, he's just so comfortable creating custom animations, and it's reliable. Whereas maybe if you're playing with code, there's just that risk of it not working. And so again, that's the risk that Team Robusta is taking.
a lot of precision on Double Trouble's side, right? Like you kind of pointed those out, Josh. Like just even those small little visual cues of like the corner pieces, like around certain boxed elements, like all of those are like on and looking flawless. Like, I would think with such a fast pace and short amount of time, like you don't have that time for that level of precision, but he's going into like making sure that it looks good on different responsive sizes. Like he's going all out today.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could see the panic in Alan's face right now.
I think he's cleared the errors though.
But things are working a little bit.
2 minutes.
Oh, this
Last
is
2
tense.
minutes.
This is tight right now.
All right, chat. Red or blue? Red or blue? Which team are you going for? I mean, I don't know who to choose right now. Like, okay, I would like to see what interactions Robusta has, because we've seen the interactions Double Trouble has with the scrolling and the spline, and then the hover effect with the subscribe button. We've seen a little bit of what Alan's doing, which is like adding scan lines or some sort of animated texture. But beyond that, oh, now he's adding interactions and he's getting errors. Oh,
Ooh boy.
They're working.
And I mean, at this point, Melissa's just chilling. This is the thing that Double Trouble does. Melissa basically does most of the design the first like 20 minutes, and then she's just done. So she's just chilling
quick
right now.
But it also, like, you know, we've had that comment before, like, oh, the design is now trying to like support dev, but also she does it so quickly that she's like, you have everything you need from me. Now it's about being there and helping answer questions and kind of, look at the movement.
wait, is that part of the spline, or did he tilt it?
No, it's part. He did those interactions in Webflow to make it a mouse follow. So it's got mouse follow. It has scroll animation. It has native spline animations. It's got the kitchen sink on that thing.
Come on.
All right.
Refresh luôn. Bây giờ mình sẽ xin Josh.
30 seconds
Mình sẽ
left.
chỉ update cái hình của ấy thôi. Refresh lại.
I think that's good.
This is crazy.
No!
20 seconds.
No!
You can do it, Alan.
No! Webflow is not doing good.
10 seconds,
Webflow is not
guys. Try to
saving.
wrap it up.
Come on,
Hey,
Webflow.
Alan can't save his Webflow project.
You can't save it?
Yeah,
he can't save it.
Oh no!
Can we give him
Alright.
extra time for like saving or something?
Saving? You mean publishing?
No,
Yes.
saving.
Like
It
actual
keeps
saving.
displaying an error saying that the project is not saved.
Oh, one of those.
Oh no, Webflow is crashed. Webflow crashed.
Oh,
no.
Oh. All right, well, Alan, do what you can. Nelson, let's call a support line to Webflow directly and see if they can like fix it.
Hold on, let me get Vlad on the phone.
This is what happens on a stream, guys. Okay, well, we're gonna go over to Joseph and Melissa as they present. Alan, try to fix it as much as you can. Obviously, no more designing, but you try to do your thing. Whew. Well, guys, congrats. That is it. No more designing, okay? No more stress. Congratulations. Honestly, like this is the third match placement, and like I just really honor you guys. So with that, Joseph, Melissa, are you ready to present your design?
Yo. Okay. This time was definitely felt a lot easier than last time. It didn't go so crazy, and that is the strategy. So gaming. Obviously, there's some really nice examples here. We're working with a dark theme. As you said, trying to get that kind of color combination right. And obviously we're dealing with a footer. So, you know, footers are tricky. They're not easy things to make look really exciting. So our approach to how we wanted to create the footer is quite unique. We have this hero moment that then goes into this kind of sticky overlay footer, which comes up. And then we've created almost like a confined bento grid that actually contains all of the elements inside. So it feels really futuristic. There's grid line support, which really help emphasize that look. And then we started to see these little characters, and we're thinking about Pixel Cube. And there were some characters that really stood out to us. This one, obviously, very close to a pixel, but we was actually more drawn towards the little kitty cat. There's some really nice colors on this, and that also gives us a good base for the overall color direction that we could use. So there's really nice purples, greens, yellows, and we can see already there's that beautiful gradient. So we've definitely used that to our advantage. Heroing the kitty cat, which is our Pixel Cube hero character, we created this hero moment where at the bottom of the footer, as you would imagine, as you scroll down, you introduce little kitty as she's there, and we create some sort of kind of transition movement as we scroll through the spline scene. We've got to do some little movements which are really nice, and then we just emphasize on that brand name. As you can see here, the gradient just works so well, really complements the 3D spline, and it also gives it that kind of futuristic vibe. Again, all little nods back to that gaming environment. The font that we've chosen, again, is really referencing the actual name of the brand, Pixel Cube. So we've gone for this really nice pixelized font, PP Nubit. Love it, works really well, and just sits super well. So as we scroll through, I had this kind of idea of like flashing, this kind of like final hurrah moment before we jump into the footer itself. As you can see here, we again used another little bit of spline here to kind of draw us into this join our adventure moment. We thought, why not? There's spline to be used, let's use it. So we have this really nice hero moment where we introduce the join adventure. Then as we move down, you can start to see the gridded structure that we've created. Also some other little graphical elements like these little kind of border elements. Again, just adding to that gaming vibe, making it feel futuristic, making it feel modern and sleek. And then at the bottom here, we have the social icons. Some ideas around actually a little hover. You know, we could do more, of course, but we really try to strategize about getting it done. Moving into the build.
Here we go. Show us the build.
Little thing moves into place. We have a little bit of mouse movement action on it. And then as we start to scroll down, you will see a little bit of a scroll, rotate and scale where the kitty sits into position. And then we've also introduced these really nice glitch effects that we have here and on the rollovers. This is some custom GSAT, again, to help expedite the process a little bit. And this footer is just really cool, the way that it works. Again, how we get that in, and then that little pixel in the background also scales in the background to really love it. Kind of sets it really nicely as we finish up for the bottom of the page. And then yeah, just that extra bit of movement on here. So just did a little bit of a scale and a rotate on this. It just creates this really beautiful sucking motion as we move down into this. And then I managed to get that little hover as well, which is in there. And yeah, that's it.
Well done.
The margins, the borders, the pixelated borders. I was like, where did you get that from? And now just realizing that it's just the word Pixel Cube just scaled up.
I'm so happy that you did that.
Yeah, I did this. I basically, we just used the border here, which is super nice.
Oh, stop it.
That was awesome. That was so good to see you, Joseph, Melissa, and I'm glad that you guys were happy with this design. Are these going to be clonables down the road? I'm sure people would love to learn.
We actually already prepared the first one. We've prepared the second one.
Nice.
In terms of what we would have wanted to do at the end result, and we will finish up this. I'm going to create a little bit of a front page for these so you can navigate through to each of these environments, and we could also tag the video towards each of these.
Amazing.
As well.
And we would love to see people, playing with it, expanding on it, doing variations of it, and it's a great opportunity to have a showcase project on your portfolio. Like you can use that and rework it to your own style.
Awesome. I love it. I love your generosity. Appreciate you. Once again, thank you for competing. Now, with that said, we have to bring it over to Team Robusta. Let's see what they got. You ready? Ready, Alan?
Yes.
All right, take it away.
So, welcome, my fellow Sharks. Welcome back to Shark Tank. We have a new game that we want to present to you. All we want is $100 million for 100% of your vote. So the game that we're about to show you is called Toxic Waste. What is it about? So it's a game about of civilizations gone through a nuclear bombing. Wow, that's just so cool. But then we have to talk more about the gameplay. So I'm gonna leave you to the game designers, Dang, to talk to you more about it. Dang, kick it.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Dang. I'm gonna be talking about the world building in toxic waste. So we will start with what? So this is the year 2555. Everyone was happy and everything was peaceful. So you can see this is the image of the city. Everything is so peaceful there. But then something happened. Do you know Elon Musk? So his son XA12 decided to transfer his brain into an AI. And then he started to release all the toxic chemical into the environment, making Earth inhabitable. But don't worry. A group of 8 warrior and friend began their journey to Hogwarts, where they're on the mission to find the magic wand that can undo all the damage that has been done to Earth. So join the adventure today and help save Earth. And that's
Let's
our
go.
game, Toxic Waste.
Let's go.
Well done.
Oh, that was so
Loved
good.
it.
How do
Oh,
you?
that's brilliant.
Of course,
Put a
we'll leave
smile
it
on
to you
my
guys to
face.
tell a story out of a footer. That is amazing. So great. I don't know if that's a shot towards Elon, but hey, that was good storytelling. That was good storytelling. Well done. Okay, well, people love it. That was great. We're gonna open up the polls for voting, and then we're gonna hear the thoughts from Jesse, Nelson, and Grace. And so for those who are voting in the chat, if you're watching for the first time, the winning team gets determined by 2 judge votes who are offline, and the community vote, the people's choice vote here on YouTube. So we're gonna open up a chat or a poll, and you get to vote, and we're gonna do that right now. So with that, Grace, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the
I
design.
love both of them, actually. I love the design of the cat and the gradient and the colors. It's very like Web3 block themed, but I also love the storytelling of the world and the toxic and like the year 2500 and the time of Elon Musk. It makes it so relevant to our tech bro culture of the internet today. And yeah, I just like love aspects of from both as well.
Okay, awesome. Jesse?
I'll jump in. Man, I think well done for both. Not only were they, like for instance, like great verbal storytelling of the game and everything like that, but then also like same thing for Double Trouble, like just great visual storytelling across the board, right? Like seeing consistent character throughout or consistent coloring throughout over there for like Team Robusta. Like both sites felt, in my opinion, cohesive. They made sense. You guys went into like great like length and detail on each one. So I just thought like I think both of them are really, really phenomenal. I was like really, really worried because I started seeing a lot of errors happening on Alan's like Webflow, like error, and I was like going, no, but somehow it seems like it all pulled out in the end. I think today was just like a great demonstration of storytelling, but then also the tools that were available to you, like spline interactions and GSAP and different things. It was all well implemented, and I'm highly impressed.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a toss-up because on one side, Robusta has that great storytelling, and you can see it in their design, and they added subtle interactions. And for Double Trouble, you have a character at the top, the name of it, and then he comes again at the bottom with the subscribe when you hover over the subscribe button. And not much storytelling, but a ton of animations and interaction. I mean, those footer links, the letters do that. I don't know what you call it, matrix, just by like text animations happening on hover for those links. And I'm like, adding that within 30 minutes, that's amazing. So like, I don't know. And looking at the polls right now of the People's Choice, it is 35% on my screen, 35% Double Trouble, 65 Robusta. Want to see more votes in there, everyone. We have like 62 people watching. We need 2 more votes. I want to see it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was so good. I rarely make shared comments, but I'm gonna go in here. I just think this is such a love piece to the community from Joseph and Melissa. You guys have you're no strangers to this whole competitive tournaments, and I think giving this over as clonables for the team to learn, and even hopefully we can get access to like the codes that you use. I think people are going to learn so much from this, and again, the fact that you did this in half an hour, amazing. So thank you so much for your generosity and your time. Amazing. And again, Robusta, I love this. This is so good. It just you guys are great examples of displaying that good storytelling goes a long way, along with amazing design too. But like, I love how fun you always inject these elements of playfulness into the design, like the flower, the faces. I love it. It's just such a good time. So fantastic. I think both of you, again, those watching on the stream, you don't know how much pressure these teams go through. And I think there's a quote by Teddy Roosevelt saying, like, the man in the arena, it's not the critic that counts, but it's the teams that are in the arena, battling out. And so with that, I honor both of you guys for doing that and taking on such an amazing challenge. I hope that you've improved as a designer. And so with that, yeah, I'll stop there, and I'm gonna end the poll. So Team Robusta takes the People's Choice Award. Okay, 65%. But I do have the votes from the judges to conclude. The winning team for third place, for a prize $1,000. We got some merch from Figma as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the winning team for this match, please give it up for Team Double Trouble. Congratulations. Well done.
Well done.
Dang and Ellen.
I know. I feel bad as well.
You guys
Don't
feel
feel
bad?
bad. Look at their
You're too
smiles. They have a
likable,
great time.
Too likable. Great guys. Listen,
No,
just
because like we know how much they were like wanting to like win this, and like I know they were the underdogs, and like everybody was cheering for them. So, I mean, it just feels like like it's like bittersweet.
You guys are amazing. Alan, dang, I mean, what an opportunity to compete with your idols. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Let's hear from you guys.
Yeah, this is literally my dream. Again, you guys are my idols. I have watched Jesse since the early day of YouTube as well. I watched Nelson as well since he still like Pixel Geek, like doing YouTube tutorials as well. And then I come to know Josh, and then Joseph and everything else, everyone else. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks.
Bravo.
Yeah, so you guys were like my idol when I first started out on this journey to become a Webflow developer. And I actually told Alan that our last match was the final already. This match doesn't count because we're competing against our idol. No chance we're gonna win. But so we want to focus on the storytelling. We want to focus on bringing people like a good time, positive energy. That's all we aim for. Yeah, and it was a great opportunity to meet and compete with you guys. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Bravo.
Awesome.
Bravo, guys.
Joseph, Melissa, what do you have to say after just whooping your admirers? Just kidding.
that makes it sound so brutal. It's not. Yeah, like you two are amazing. Like honestly, like your storytelling, the way that you put things together. Like as you say, this is you know, something special to you. It's special to us as well. And as I always say, like, you know, this might feel like a loss, it might feel like a victory. Just keep pushing on, keep doing what you're doing, keep being inspired. You know, this is the journey, and as you say, you've come against two people that you've been very inspired by, and that's a great story to tell. One question that I would ask you is, are you coming to Webflow Conf? If you are, I would personally like to meet you, both of you, if you are coming, and we can have drinks and chat, and we can talk and do whatever you want. We can have a bit of fun, but it'd be actually great to meet you two as well if you are coming. But well done, and thanks for challenging us and battling us for this third and final play.
Awesome. Well, you guys are going to Webflow Conf, Alan Dang?
Not this year.
Yeah, not this year. It's a bit hard.
Take it online. We'll
Yeah,
go
take
on a
it
Zoom call.
online. Yeah, it's a
We
bit
can
hard
do
from
that as
here.
well. We can do that as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, Joseph, Melissa, what are you guys doing these days? You know, this is like your last match here. How can people get a hold of you? You want to direct them to, you know, join Flow Party? Well, yeah, just share what you guys are up to in your life.
Yeah, so obviously you can find Joseph on Twitter. That's his main social media, Joseph Berry. Right? Joseph Berry.
Yeah, I can add all the links in the description. Yeah.
And me also on Twitter, MeliDelmar06. And then we also have a cohort or course running right now with Joseph, Jomor, Ilya, and Diego. You can learn design, development, 3D, client management. It's like a full package course, super intensive when you want to take your web development and web design career just further and do it how the experts do it. So that's running. It's only $260 for the full course. And
Nice.
stay tuned, because soon we will be announcing the next cohort and more courses for you guys to learn. And that is it. Joseph actually launched a huge website today. Joe, if you want to tell us about it.
Yeah, that was actually for a really cool supercar. If you haven't seen it, it's on my Facebook, on my Twitter, sorry. It's for a company called Oil Stain. They've just created a brand new supercar. They're based from California. The video, the imagery, like everything is top tier, and it's a project that I've been waiting to share. There's some other really cool things that are in the pipeline. This is the video right there. And there's lots of other things that are in the pipeline as well. It just depends whether we get chances to actually breathe. But there's lots of content which is very similar to what we're doing right now in this competition that I would love to release in a private access, including some other really cool things that I'm hoping to introduce. Again, we'll have to see how that pans out. But I'm super keen on sharing more with the community, teaching, learning, and inspiring you as best as I possibly can.
Dude, this website's insane.
And he built this in 30 minutes.
Yeah. So if you want a website like this, contact Joseph Berry, Melissa Mendez.
No, I didn't have anything to do on this website. This was actually all him. And it's actually, I think, in my opinion, working with Joseph, this has been one of those websites where I saw his design mind shift a little bit.
Okay.
Joseph is very structured. This website is very sort of structured in a way that it's very fluid, it's very minimal, very contemporary. So I'm really proud of seeing him go into this type of design and like nailing it.
Wow. This is nuts. It must be due to you being in the arena. We're making you a better designer, right?
100%. It's exactly that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. We're going to wrap it up more with Dang and Alan. What do you guys got going in your life? How can people get to reach out to you?
So for me, everything starts with the handle is Alan Pham, running my own agency as well. So I use Dot Studio, and yeah, that's all. Dan, over to you.
Okay, so you can all reach out to me. My handle is Lino Nguyen for all platform. I just realized it might be difficult for people to like get that. So I'm also building Lumen Studio, a create Webflow studio that will be launching soon, hopefully in a week or two. So stay tuned.
Okay. All right. Well, Joseph, Melissa, Dang, Alan, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you. We'll see you around in the interwebs, possibly for another future match. Who knows, or as a judge. But thank you again.
I think it's time for us to chill out and be judges.
Yeah.
At least you did it. At least you did it. And now-
All right, we're gonna bring it over to the outro. Thank you for watching, everyone. We have the finals. Team Define, Flow Ninja. We have decided to reschedule the match to later in October, in like 3 weeks. We're aiming October 29th. Still going to confirm the details. And with that, Jesse, thank you for joining us for 5 matches. It's been such a pleasure to have you. Nelson, Grace, let's hear from you before we wrap up the stream.
Just excited to be here. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. It is so cool to be around such talented people, such amazing co-hosts and designers and creatives and developers. It's one of those things that really stirs me up and really inspires me to go out there and do more great work. And they're like all of, you know who's my spirit animal? Alan's my spirit animal. That's what I think one of my biggest takeaways from this whole thing is I just love the community so much that I get to be a part of.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Oh, no worries.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
thanks
Grace,
for having
go
me.
ahead.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I was so impressed by how fast everyone made their sites and how creative they were in attacking the prompt. So it was really fun. I was impressed. It definitely inspired me to do more design, even after I quit my job. So I continued drawing and doing art. It's great reconnecting with all of y'all as well. And yeah, it was just fun. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Grace. And Grace is heading over to Adobe Max like next week or something? Real soon?
Yeah, actually, I don't know because there's a hurricane. So
Okay, all right, yeah.
I shall see.
Weather pending, weather pending.
Weather pending. Right now,
Yeah.
yes, I will be there.
So make sure you check out Design Buddies if you haven't heard. Amazing community. Thanks so much, Grace. Hope to party with you again at Config or some other event. That was really fun. And Nelson.
Yeah.
Final words from you.
Final words is support that way. Yeah. Support this man. Subscribe right now. Subscribe right now.
Yeah.
Click the like button. He's doing wonderful things as always. Grand finals. Can't wait for it. You're awesome, Josh. And Jesse, Grace, wonderful to co-host with y'all. And this has been fun. So thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a good time. We'll see you in the finals. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.